What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You know it's tea time with the read time. Big salute to everybody, man. Big salute to all my loved ones, man. I ain't even gonna salute them haters, but get them one of those. But all the support squad, support goons, you know, all my loved ones, donors, sponsors, man. Big salute to everybody, man. Big salute. Love y'all, man. Love y'all, man. So let's get back into our book, finish where we left off. 268, 269. Yeah, this a long one here, a long, juicy one. All right. All that is left of Lemuria and Atlantis are the Pacific Islands and Australia, New Zealand, and the Caribbean islands. Forests of Africa. Okay, hold on, my bad. The people anticipated the cataclysm and had already moved into the forests of Africa and the Americas, where they joined their brothers and sisters who had moved there earlier. Their bodies continued to deteriorate further due to the harsher living conditions. Those among them that started hunting and eating meat were the most affected. In Africa and Asia primarily, some of the people deteriorated to the point where they became almost entirely new beings. Their remains that have been found are wrongly dated by the unreliable modern dating methods and classified by modern scientists as distinct species such as Homo erectus. While on this point of the different human species, let me add that no black people deteriorated to the point where they actually lost their humanity. This is impossible because even in the worst biological stage, such as that of Homo erectus, the mind of God was still incarnated in them. They had lost almost all communication with the first self, but not entirely. They had enough coincidence in them that they were still moral human beings. A different scenario happened in Europe many thousands of years later. After the light-skinned races had been made, it gave rise to today's human-like apes. These apes came about as a result of the deterioration of the human bodies of white people who were expelled into the mountains and caves of Europe. They were expelled from civilization by the black citizens of the cities in the Middle East and North Africa, Mecca, Saudi Arabia. They were isolated beyond the Caucasus Mountains, where they were totally cut off from culture and civil life. Over a period of only 2,000 years, they deteriorated so much that some of them completely lost their humanness and became what are called Neanderthals. Others declined even further until they crawled on hands and feet and became human-like apes, such as can be seen today. These human-looking apes are the descendants of those people from about 4,000 years ago. I mention this so that the distinction is clear as to where the different human-like species come from. Other black people deteriorated to the condition of the people still alive today, called Aborigines, like the San and Kai, Hottentots, the Bambuti and Twa Pygmies, and Maori, Australian Aborigines, Maori. Now those were the extreme cases. The vast majority of self-isolated black people, even those who live under severe conditions in the forest, deteriorated only to the point that we are in today. They became the new people of the earth. When Yahweh was ready to make the light races, he invited some of these new people to be his helpers. At the beginning of the period of self-isolation, the ancients decided that they would gradually depopulate the earth of all the perfect people and repopulate it with the new people. They did this in two basic ways. All the people who wanted volunteered to leave their ancient cities. They moved to the new cities of Lemuria and Atlantis. Others who desired the immediate experience of totally new type of existence moved directly to the forests of Africa, South America, and Asia. They soon became food gatherers and other several centuries, many of them became hunters and meat eaters. Their new lifestyle, especially the killing of animals and meat eating, contributed greatly to the fast deterioration of their once perfect bodies. The rest of the isolationists, those who moved to the new cities of Lemuria and Atlantis, had the same experience, but at a much slower pace. When their civilizations ended, many thousands of years later, they too moved to the forest and joined their people who had been there a long time. This accelerated their deterioration until all the groups of isolationists had lost 10 out of 12 strands of their DNA. They became new types of people, such as we are today. During that approximately 44,000 year period, the ancients who remained in the original cities decided to reduce their population in order to complete the transformation from a world of perfect people to a different world full of new people. They did this by slowing down their reproduction of children gradually over a period of 6 generations, or about 42,000 years. By the time of the birth of Yahweh, no perfect people were being born on earth. All the senior citizens who were left soon died. Eventually, at around 6,000 years ago, the only perfect people left on earth were the long-lived leaders, the 24 elders and the 144 chiefs. The last group of judges passed away at the time of the birth of Yahweh. Today, the 168 leaders are the only people left on earth still with the perfect ancient type of bodies with 12 active strands of DNA. About 1,000 years before the birth of Yahweh, some of the new people started to gradually move back to the ancient cities. In a period of less than 1,000 years, they had resettled the major cities of the world that had been evacuated by their ancestors more than 40,000 years before. Yahweh was born to the new people. He had a body very much like ours today, with only 2 active strands of DNA. The 59,999 Elohim that he invited to help him were also the same type of people. Oh man, let's take a break right quick. Hit the T. The True Israelites. That's the name of this chapter. So, 6,000 years ago, the whole world was exclusively inhabited by black people with 2 active strands of DNA, and also by 168 long-lived leaders with perfect original 12 DNA bodies. They still remain perfect to this day. The world was thus ready for the breeding of the light-skinned races. One more role on the relationship between the physical body and everything that is manifested outwardly in creation. Everything that exists in creation has a counterpart in the physical body. Creation is an outward projection of the human body. More correctly, it's the projection of our ancient 12 DNA perfect bodies. So the physical body and the microcosmos from which it is projected, the microcosmos, the universe, using the mind. Ultimately, everything is a projection of the mind, but the mind is anchored in the physical body and has 144,000 anchor points. These anchor points are the foundation of all creativity, and that all things are the physical manifestation of the 144,000 aspects of God, perfect morality. The aspects are centered on God's throne or altar in the body, which is the black germ, the center of all creativity. When the ancients spoke, they sometimes spoke interchangeably about things within and things without, as if they're one and the same. In truth, they are one and the same. Everything outward is a reflection of something inward. So in ancient texts, they speak of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. These are real people, as already explained. They are the modern black descendants of slaves, but their reflection in the human body are the 10 inactive strands of DNA. The 12 active strands represent or are reflected by the 12 tribes of the black nation in our natural state. Prior to and after this 6,000-year cycle, the 10 inactive or lost strands of DNA represent or are reflected by the 10 lost tribes of Israel. The lost tribes of Israel were found by a certain black man who lived in the Middle East. This man had an infamy, a revelation. He was doing research back in the late 1800s on the history of black people, when one day it suddenly occurred to him that the black people in America, the descendants of slaves, were actually the lost tribes of Israel. His brothers and sisters, he became determined at that time to reclaim his lost people. His revelation was confirmed soon thereafter by the elders of his tribe. They told him that it was his destiny to reclaim our people. That's why the revelation had came to him, because of his lack of Western education and inability to speak English. He could not come to America himself to reclaim them. He formulated a plan to raise a son and teach him Western education and send him to America for this important mission. He raised a son named Farad. Peace and blessings be upon Master Farad. Peace and big blessings upon his soul. Thus, in the early part of last century, Farad, or Farad Muhammad, came to America and told the people, whom he called his aunts and uncles, that they had been lost and now were found. Shortly before Farad's arrival in America, they began a new reverse mutation in the genes of black people. All biological changes on Earth are the direct result of the thoughts of people. When animals and plants mutate into new forms or functions, they are simply reflecting the state of mind of the people on Earth who happen to be wielding that influence, which directs the biological life to mutate and evolve in a particular direction. When the true Israelites were found, there was great joy in heaven among Yahweh's angels, as well as on earth among those initiated into the spiritual events of our earth. The joy that flooded the subconscious minds of all black people when Farad Muhammad's mission was revealed for the first time among the initiated elders in 1912 was so great that it reverberated throughout the entire black nation and caused the beginning of a reverse mutation in our deteriorated genes. Over the following 100 years or so, starting in 1912 until 2000, my bad, y'all, hold on. it wrong, but hold on. Okay, over the following 100 years or so, starting in 1912 until 2014, the 10 inactive strand. Wait, hold on. The entire black nation caused the beginning of the reverse mutation of our deteriorating genes. Okay, over the following 100 years or so, starting in 1912 until 2014, the 10 inactive strands of our DNA will become active again. After a period of 49 years since the beginning of the reactivation, the first group of genetically different children were born on Earth. This happened on the spring equinox day of 1961. Spring in the northern hemisphere since about March 20, 1961, all black children born have been different than all the previous generations of the past 6,000 years. The reverse mutation is progressing steadily in their bodies as they grow and will reach a definite plateau when they reach the age 49 years old in 2010. In that year, the 10 formerly stagnant strands of their DNA will begin to vibrate back into activity. There will be a definite physical and mental difference between those black people and others born before March 1961. All black children born during and after the year 2012 will be physically different right from birth. Yeah, that's true, because my son and my daughter, they physically different. Their genetic structure will clearly show 12 strands of DNA as opposed to 2 in all other people. Now, when the king built the Great Pyramids, he incorporated the function of resurrection in them in anticipation of the time when black people would have lost the 10 strands of DNA. They were no longer able to ascend consciously prior to 6,000 years ago, especially prior to 50,000 years ago. Black people ascended consciously. When they died, they never lost consciousness. To them, death was just like sleep, which they also experienced. Oh man, experienced lucidly. 273. Yeah, we almost. I'll read 273. Except that death was the final sleep, but there was no loss of consciousness like we have today, either in sleep or death. Yahweh and Elohim must remain conscious without the interruption of their memories by the process of unconscious death. The mechanics of death in this 6,000-year cycle are such that conscious memory is interrupted at the moment of death and has to be rebuilt after ascension, sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly, depending on the person. The light races were conceived in Yahweh's mind and actually live and have their being supported directly by that part of his mind. They call their collective conscious. For him to successfully complete his creation, he cannot enter a state of unconsciousness such as comes at the moment of death. He and his helpers, the Elohim, must remain conscious at all times for the sake of their creation. But since Yahweh and the rest of the 60,000 Elohim were born at a time when black people were short-lived and no longer ascended consciously, a way had to be made to ensure the uninterrupted continuation of their individuality of their souls. Hence, the king incorporated this function of conscious ascension or resurrection in the Great Pyramid. Modern Egyptologists have discovered that at least one of the chambers of the Great Pyramid has passages aligned toward the star Sirius. They have also discovered in the art of the ancient Egyptians scenes depicting the worship of that star or the god of that star. Included in many paintings are scenes where the pharaoh is shown as the resurrected Osiris, the god of Sirius. In order to explain this symbolism, we must prepare our minds to grasp and understand some of the practices of our ancestors that were perfectly normal to them. But that would appear miraculous to us today. There are many such activities to mention, some of which would stretch our incredulity and performed as a matter of course. One such activity involves the interrelationship between alternate souls, or what may be called twin souls. Twin souls are not the same as soulmates. They are souls or personalities of the same God. As stated before, the 1,000,000,008,000,000 gods not only incarnated repeatedly on earth, but they simultaneously incarnate on every earth inhabited by black people. All the simultaneous incarnations of the same God are what we mean by twin souls. Every black person on earth has a twin soul on the star Sirius, as well as every other inhabited earth in the universe. Woo! Your Jaeger, what's the little twin people from Flash? Your Jaeger twin? Yeah, we could do that. They need machines, but we could do that. So we're gonna stop on 274. Yeah, it's 274. And we'll continue tomorrow. But I told y'all that thing getting juicy. Yeah, it's getting dark. What's today? Saturday. Saturday was a slow day, Sunday. So hopefully Monday we'll have some action for y'all. Have some action. Got a lot of work in relationship to make. So Monday, I think we're gonna have a meeting with the team, and my main focus is gonna be trying to make relationships at the college. Yeah, we gotta make relationships at the college. Get the youth on our team. You know what I'm saying? Get us some gang of goons, smart, genius goons, to bump this music, man. Get us some young fans, motivate some young folks. So I think I haven't told nobody yet. So y'all, this will be exclusive for y'all. So yeah, the first form of business while bro handling the overseas business is to form relationships at these colleges. Because I see some people trying to do it, you know, so we need to jump in the mix. So yeah. So big salute to everybody, man. Oh, Allah bless everybody in the sound of my voice, man. Everybody who heard this message today, you know, it only gets more juicy, your knowledge coming through me to them. You know, hopefully they can spread the knowledge too, because it's that time to wake up. It's that time to wake up, and everybody waking up. So y'all get ready, man. Y'all prepare. Go get y'all some seeds and grow y'all some food. I'm thinking about probably trying to grow about 4 or 5. I think I'm gonna grow some cucumbers. I might throw a watermelon out there. Probably 2 stalks of corn, just to grow something, just to have something. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing, when you plant your first seeds and you know start farming, you get hooked. You start to feel like a creator of life. Because once you see them, they start sprouting, you're like, damn, I feel like a father. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I recommend everybody go out there, go to Walmart. Well, I ain't gonna say Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Farmers Market, man. Get y'all some organic non-GMO seeds, man. Just plant what your favorite fruits and vegetables is. You know what I'm saying? See if y'all can find a chicken or 2 to buy. Probably about 1 rooster and 2 hens. You know what I'm saying? Just let them run through your yard. You know, keep them locked up for like 3 or 4 days to a week, and they'll know that's home, so they won't wander off. You know, if they do wander off, they'll come back. They'll come back before the sun go all the way down. So no need to worry about the chickens, except for cats. If you're around cats and wild animals, then yeah, you have to worry about them. But yeah, man, y'all just get prepared, man. Keep y'all prayers strong, man. And hopefully this book, I ain't gonna say my book, hopefully this book, this knowledge can bring y'all a sense of comfort in these crazy times, man, because shit going crazy, man. You know, I hope things get worse, but it's going on 3 years, y'all. Going on 3 years. So, yeah, all that shit they was talking about 10 years ago, get prepared, economy class. You know, we thought the white folks was crazy. Man, it's happening now. It just ain't happening overnight, but it's happening slowly in front of y'all face. All I gotta do is pay attention, man. And I'm on the outside looking in. It's affecting us over here, but not as much as it's affecting, you know, the home field. You know what I'm saying? So y'all get ready over there, man. Get y'all passports, man. Keep y'all mask on. Stay paranoid. Stay dangerous. And I love y'all, man. I'll be back tomorrow with another read. I might do a little live later on. Well, it's getting dark now. I might go live, but you know I gotta get back on my read material, man. You know, it expand my brain at the same time expand y'all brain too. So I love y'all, man. Big salute. I'll be back tomorrow. Aye. Oh, JT Bigger Figure 415 at YouTube. Big salute to my big brother. JT the Bigger Figure 415 at YouTube. That's the new channel, y'all. So y'all go fuck with bro. Bro, they gonna start working 2 channels. Bro gonna start working 2 channels. One for promotion and one just to talk shit and then trap flicks. So y'all stay tuned, y'all. Love y'all, man. Aye.